Hello everyone. So today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading on wounds you need to heal from your mother. Anything going on with your mother growing up that may have caused you any sort of pain, whether that be your biological mother, a guardian, adoptive mother, a woman that you really trusted, a spiritual mother, anything of the sort, this video is for you. So even if you watch this with the intention of it being about your biological mother, it might not end up working out that way. I am just going to burn this Palo Santo just to clear out some of the energy, any blockages that may be going on that we need to get rid of. I'm just going to be burning to clear out any blockages that may be going on. Just waving them over the cards that I've already shuffled and picked out for you guys, but I just want this to be as healing of as healing of an experience as possible. So I just want to clear out any blockages, anything that may be harming you or wanting to get in the way of you having the best possible message. So we'll go ahead and put that over here. So if you see smoke for the next little bit, that's what it is. I put it right next to the camera. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you chose pile number 1, this is your message. Starting off with the tarot cards, we have the 6 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, Strength, and the King of Swords. So kind of the message that I'm getting right away with this mother figure in your life, I think that she felt like she wasn't able to provide for you financially like she may have been wanting to with this Page of Pentacles. She is just kind of feeling blocked off with her energy as far as being able to help financially. She probably, she may have felt like a burden to the family or feeling like she wasn't able to give as much as she was wanting to, whether that be financially or just in general, could even be emotionally, spiritually, where she wasn't able to give as much as she wanted to, and she felt like she was lacking in that area and maybe causing a lot of pain. She may have been standoffish with the King of Swords here, just feeling very, harsh with her words. She may have been very abrasive and stern with her words and what she said. She was very direct and blunt. She probably wasn't the most emotional person. We have the Strength card right next to the King of Swords. So to me, that's kind of showing that she felt like in order to be a strong person, you had to be clear with what you're saying. And that she felt like she wasn't able to express herself emotionally, or that it was weak to express yourself emotionally. And so she opted out for expressing herself with words, but not in the kindest way. She may have not really understood how to be empathetic. And not that she wasn't, because with the 6 of Wands here, she definitely had her moments where she was able to kind of open up to that more nurturing side and give you a little bit more of the care that you're looking for. But for the most part, naturally, she was very, I want to say cold, but like she still had this sensitive side to her. Like she wasn't like that all the time, but she definitely acted that way more often than not. Then we have the 4 of Wands here. So to me, this is kind of showing that at some point in your life, probably preteen years, that she ended up going into another relationship. Yeah, because the 4 of Wands is a lot of times a marriage card, and so I'm either seeing that the marriage she had with your father ended, or she decided to marry someone else or be with someone else, be in another relationship. possibly even cheat, that was something that may have happened. And again, just take whatever resonates. Obviously, that's not for everybody. So if that doesn't resonate in the slightest, then it's not for you, but it is for someone. So that's why it's here. And then we have the Emperor card right next to that. And so to me, that's also showing that this is kind of the way that she encouraged you to view men, was as people that can take advantage of you in some sort of way. She didn't help you understand the healthy side of a man. She probably had a lot of prejudice. I'm getting the sense that she may have been kind of like a feminist, very like wanting to prove herself and not really understanding how to just be still. There is a lot of blockage within her feminine energy, where she felt like she had to kind of like stop herself from being emotional in order to be the best person that she could be. That she had this view of masculinity that was wrong, that she had something to prove to men, but it made her neglect her femininity, if that makes sense, where she wasn't able to be a woman, or a woman to their full power. She wasn't able to step into her divine feminine power. And I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that like she is a divine feminine, because gender doesn't really mean anything in the first place. Like, she could definitely be naturally the divine masculine, and just like she's a more masculine person. But healthy people, the goal at least, is to be able to balance out your masculine and your feminine tendencies pretty evenly. And so for her, she definitely gravitated more toward masculine energies, because she felt like that was what she had to do in order to succeed. That she wasn't allowed to have femininity and be okay with femininity. That's what I'm getting from the tarot cards. Let me go ahead and pull from the oracle. I have cards from the Divine Feminine Oracle. So we have White Buffalo Calf Woman, the Prophetess of the Sacred Way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. And then we also have Akulanda. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. The goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. Yes. So for this message specifically, what I'm getting is that these are the areas where she neglected. She didn't trust her heart. It was something that, like, as a child, she was probably taught to suppress herself, her heart, her emotions, what she was really feeling and going through, because she thought that that was what was going to get her ahead. So her sacred way was damaged. Her path of love was damaged. And therefore, it created that same damage in you, that manifested and repeated itself in you as well. Which is really unfortunate, and I'm so sorry about that. That's something that Spirit wants you to know, is that it's okay for you to embrace both masculine and feminine aspects of yourself, because both are good and beautiful and love and come from divinity. So with Akulanda, the goddess of never not broken, everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So the thing about the saying never not broken is just kind of like, she was broken, and Akulanda is embracing the aspect of herself that is broken. She's okay with being broken, being wrong, not being politically correct about everything. She's okay to be wrong and ignorant and express, hey, I'm wrong about this, or I'm ignorant about this, please inform me. That's the kind of energy that Akulanda is representing. And so that's something that your mother wasn't able to teach you properly. She had a very hard exterior, but wasn't really able to express herself fully and come forward with what she was really feeling and needing to get out, because she had this idea that she couldn't be broken. She had to be perfect. She had to be right. And that was kind of the thing that she placed on you. That may have been something where you got into a lot of arguments with your mother, where you weren't allowed to be right about anything. Because the thing about parents is that they're not always right, because they're just people. They're human just like we are. And so sometimes children are able to teach their parents. That's a thing. And in a healthy dynamic between a parent and a child, they understand that your child is able to teach you just as much as you're able to teach them. And so with your mother, I'm getting the sense that maybe she didn't really understand that. She felt like because she was the parent, she was right and you had to listen to her. Which can be very damaging, because that doesn't teach you how to stand up for yourself. It doesn't teach you how to be owning your own power and owning your own divine love and trusting your own intuition in yourself, which is very difficult to do. That is something that can be very challenging, is being able to really love and trust yourself. Then from the my Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle deck, we have Goddess of Sacred Power. You're being encouraged to take a leading role in your current situation. And then Angel of Psychic Ability. Your intuitive and psychic abilities are strong at present. That is so funny, because I literally feel like this is what I was just trying to say. I was like, you were taught to not be able to express your intuition and trust your intuition. And so Spirit is really telling you that, like, it's okay for you to trust yourself. So even right now, if there's something that you're going through and you're experiencing that you are doubting yourself about, that you feel like, oh, maybe this isn't the right decision, maybe this isn't the right thing, or like, what are other people going to think? This isn't like a traditional way of going about things. Spirit is wanting you to know that you can embrace those aspects of yourself. You can listen to your own intuition and trust yourself and trust your experience. You're allowed to do that. And the Goddess of Sacred Power, there's a rose at the bottom right here, and that just is kind of like, to me, the rose is like the source of feminine energy. When the rose forms and like it's in the beginning stages, not in full bloom yet, that's kind of where you are right now. Where you're learning how to develop your psychic ability, you're learning how to trust your intuition, you're learning how to embrace your femininity, but one day you're going to be able to bloom into that full rose. And so Spirit is wanting you to know that this is something that's going to happen for you, and you're on the right path. Like, despite the things that you've been through, despite the things that you've been taught, you're still going in the right direction, and you still are healing. Then from my Indigo Angel Oracle deck, we have Divine Timing. Pray, and self-care. So for this, I am feeling that your mother may have taught you that religion was wrong, or that having some sort of spirituality was wrong. It's possible that either she didn't believe in God, she didn't believe in a higher power, or that she was had experienced a lot of hurt because of religion and kind of pushed that same hurt onto you, or in some form, where she taught you, maybe it was like not something that she outright said as well, but just like the way that she reacted to you embracing spirituality and being interested in those things, that it made you feel like you weren't able to enjoy these things properly. Because I'm definitely seeing that she's like a person that you respect. You want her to validate you and trust you and be there for you and be able to believe in you in these aspects. Because with this Pray card, I'm just really feeling like there's some way where you weren't able to take care of yourself when it came to prayer, or where you weren't able to validate yourself when it came to prayer and meditation. Because it's a beautiful part of life. It's a beautiful part of religion. It's how you feel connected to spirit and to God and source, whatever you want to call creation, the universe. It's how you connect to them, is through prayer and meditation. And so that's something where spirit wants you to know that it's okay for you to struggle, and they're not mad at you for struggling. Like if you struggle to meditate or pray, they want you to know that they're not mad at you, because the thing about source and spirit and God is that they love you no matter what. They're always there for you. They're cheering you on. They want you to succeed, but they're okay when you don't. They love you no matter what. They love you when you don't succeed. They love you when you fail. They love you when you do the wrong thing or make a mistake. And they love you when you do your best. No matter what, they love you. They love you through everything just the same. There's no difference. They don't love you more when you do the right thing or anything like that. That may be something where you felt like your mother's love for you was conditional. But that's not how it is with God and with Source. Their love for you is unconditional. No matter what you do, that love is going to be there. And so Spirit wants you to know that no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've tried to go through and express, no matter the mistakes that you've made, the things you've done wrong, no matter how horrible they are, it's okay, and they forgive you and love you. That doesn't mean you don't have consequences for your actions, but you're still loved, which is really important to know. Then with the divine timing, this is just kind of showing me that like this is all meant to happen. All of this is happening to you for a reason. It's happening for you, not to you, which is a really important thing to know. Naturally, people have a tendency to victimize themselves, especially women, just because of society and the way that society has treated women. Spirit is wanting you to know that you don't need to do that. You are strong and confident. With the strength card before in the tarot, where your mother used her strength to kind of as a weapon, strength exists in beautiful forms too. It's not always like strength comes in being weak, if that makes sense. Like when you're able to break down and be your authentic self, that's where strength comes from. Strength comes from taking risks, living out your divine purpose, being your authentic self, knowing who you are and not being afraid of that. That's where strength comes from. That is strength. Doing things that nobody else agrees with is strength. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it. That's pretty much all that I've got for you guys, pile number 1. I hope that was helpful for you. If that didn't resonate, just go ahead and pick another pile, or come back for another video, because hopefully something will resonate eventually. But yes, love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. So this is your reading. Starting with the tarot cards, I have pulled the 8 of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the 2 of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So this is strange because I'm getting really strong twin flame romance sort of vibes, which is strange because this is not a twin flame reading. But the 8 of Cups and the 2 of Cups are definitely twin flame cards. However, I think that there is a reason why I'm seeing this here. So the way that I'm gathering this information is that in some regard, your mother has taught you that it wasn't okay to have romantic feelings, or it wasn't okay to date. It wasn't okay to embrace your sexuality, embrace stuff like that, romance, emotional feelings, in regard to, not emotional feelings, romantic feelings. That's what I'm looking for. But for whatever reason, in whatever way that it may have manifested, your mother taught you that it wasn't okay to have these feelings. So with the Eight of Cups, it's kind of like she rejected your emotions, whether she did it intentionally or by accident. It's not even to say that she had this idea in her head that like dating was wrong or like that you weren't supposed to do that. She may actually be very for it, but there's some stuff that happened growing up that caused you to believe that it wasn't okay due to her actions, due to the way that she responded to certain situations. So with the Eight of Cups, it's kind of like you had these romantic feelings, or maybe even she had romantic feelings, but it didn't work out, and the way she responded to it made you feel like romantic feelings were evil, or dating was evil, dating was wrong, or something like that. And take whatever resonates with this, because this is a very, very strong message. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is kind of showing me that this has been like a karmic cycle that has been manifesting throughout generations of your female lineage. Wow, I looked directly into the light bulb. Okay, my vision's back. So this is kind of like your, kind of like a, like in the movies with witches where they have it where it's like you, like this curse for like this generation of women, like practical magic, that there is like some sort of karmic cycle that's going on within your female lineage where having romantic feelings, dating, has been cursed in an aspect. And it doesn't literally have to be cursed, but like it feels that way, where just the women in your family have had no luck, where you always find the wrong people. And it's the same kind of thing like when you go to like with alcoholics, they say that like alcoholism is a family disease or family illness. Like it affects everybody, because typically when you have, like, if your father is an alcoholic or something like that, then your brother's probably an alcoholic too, your sister's probably an alcoholic, your aunt is probably an alcoholic. Like it doesn't just like affect one person, it affects everybody. Everyone is touched by it somehow. And so it's the same sort of thing, like this romantic cycle, that everyone has been affected by it somehow. Then with the Knight of Swords, this is interesting because it's almost like the Knight of Swords is like coming in with clear communication, letting you know exactly what's going on and stuff like that. Like that sort of energy. But the tone that was set with your mother was the opposite. Not clear communication, very indecisive, not getting to the point, just kind of saying whatever, not really making sense, being confusing, things like that. Maybe even going like saying one thing and then like a couple weeks later saying the exact opposite thing, like just not consistent, basically. I hate to say it because I'm a Libra, but it's kind of Libra energy to just be like indecisive to a fault. But it's real. So that's just kind of like the energy that I'm getting here from the tarot cards, is that there has been some sort of karmic cycle that has been going on throughout generations, where relationships were wrong, or relationships didn't end well. Relationships were just something that were kind of like, the way your mom may have taught you was like relationships were something that's just gonna get in the way. There's no point in trying to indulge in such things. Don't do it. It's wrong. Like, it's just gonna end badly. So let's see what we have with the Oracle cards. Mercury is going into retrograde, so I apologize if I just can't speak. Blame it on Mercury retrograde, even if Mercury is not in retrograde. So, with my Divine Feminine Oracle, we have Mia Shan, the Princess of Mercy. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. And we have Freya, the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Okay, so first I'm going to start with this card. The message that I'm getting from this is that Spirit wants you to know that it's okay for you to say yes to things. It's okay for you to go out, enjoy yourself, enjoy your sexuality, embrace your sexuality, understand that aspect of who you are. And it's okay to say yes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to go out and do things and be wrong, or to do the wrong thing, make mistakes, be able to, because the kind of energy that I'm getting from this is that your mother may have taught you that you weren't allowed to, or like she tried to save you from her mistakes, so much so that you weren't allowed to do anything. And so Spirit is kind of saying to like nurture your inner child to the aspect of just doing what you want to do and saying yes. And like obviously like don't be like be wise and like have discernment, but like just like don't be afraid to take a risk, because a lot of times it's like you're allowed to take a risk, you're allowed to do the crazy thing, you're allowed to do the wrong thing. You don't have to try to be perfect, or always saying the right thing, doing the right thing, making the right action, kind of like playing into what society expects of you. Like you don't have to do that. And so Spirit just wants you to know, if you want to say yes, say yes. If you want to say no, say no. Like do what your gut tells you to do. Do what you want. Giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful. Yeah. Oh, of course I dropped that. Because it's okay to make a mistake. Got it. The energy of the universe is merciful. So it's the same kind of thing. I'm kind of getting that like, for whatever reason, there's this dynamic growing up where like you weren't able to do the wrong thing. You weren't able to make a mistake. You weren't able to do what you wanted and be wrong. And so the energy of the universe is merciful. So when you do the wrong thing, even if your mother wasn't able to give you that merciful tone, the universe is willing to accept you no matter what. They love you. They want you to do what you need to do and make mistakes, because sometimes mistakes are good. Like we're not supposed to be perfect. We are supposed to make mistakes, and mistakes are good. They're healthy. They're normal. Everyone makes mistakes. Literally everyone. Hannah Montana herself says it. Everybody makes mistakes. So just be okay with it. Just be okay with yourself. Embrace it. Love yourself. Because the universe has an abundant amount of love for you. Moving on to the next oracle deck. My Angels, Goddess, Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle. We have Angel of Space Clearing. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Yeah. I wonder why that's there. Then God of Indulgence. It's all right. Stop beating yourself up. A little indulgence is in balance is healthy. Oh my God. I love it when the cards do that. I didn't look at these. I never look at them beforehand. I always am surprised, but like, come on. That's crazy. That, like, literally, like, this just summed up what I was saying in a sentence. So there it is. It's okay to indulge. It's okay to do the wrong thing. It's okay to go a little crazy sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. Like, just do it. It's okay. Angel of Space Clearing. It's time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. So that's the same kind of thing of like, you have this idea that you have to be perfect, that you have to do everything right. You have to go by society. You have to go by what your parents expect of you, what society expects of you, your siblings, family, friends, what everyone else expects of you, etc., etc. But it's not true. It's not working for you anymore. It's time for you to take a risk and do what you want to do. It's time for you to let go of what everyone else has told you have to do, what everyone else expects of you. Trust your intuition. Trust yourself, because you're not crazy. You're right about so many things, because your intuition is there for a reason. The universe communicates to you through your own thoughts, to be honest. So like, just trust your thoughts, because they're from the universe. Like, they're from spirit. It has a purpose to serve. So let it serve its purpose. I need more water. So from my next oracle deck, the Indigo Angel, we have freedom, friendship, divine purpose, and look through the situation. Okay. So with the friendship card, what I'm getting is that you need to be friends with yourself. Kind of before, when I was saying that there's like the twin flame kind of energy going on here, twin flame is the mirror of your own soul. So if you are in some sort of dynamic with your twin flame, whether you're conscious of it or not, if you know who your twin flame is or not, understand that your twin flame is a reflection of your own soul. So if you want to get closer to your twin flame, you need to get closer to yourself. Be friends with yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And it's the same thing even outside of the context of a twin flame relationship. It's important to take the focus back on yourself. If you're mad at somebody, if somebody has harmed you, done something wrong by you, look at yourself and figure out what's going on with you that's causing that pain, because more often than not, it's a reflection of how you feel about yourself and what you manifested into your reality based on your own thoughts, which is okay. Not to say that like, you need to fix this, you're doing something wrong and horrible. Like, this is the whole energy of this reading, is that it's okay for you to make a mistake. It's okay for you to do the wrong thing. And it's okay to admit that you did the wrong thing as well, and admit that you made a mistake and apologize. Like, that's okay as well. You don't have to be perfect. It's okay for you to admit that you were wrong. That is another message from Spirit as well, that they want you to understand that it's okay to be wrong. You don't have to freak out and like start feeling really guilty and a lot of shame on yourself. Like, you're allowed to just be wrong. That's okay. Everyone is wrong sometimes. Everyone is right sometimes. It's a healthy balance. You're not all good and you're not all bad. Just keep it what it is. Just be balanced. Go with the flow. Understand. Wow, there's so much Libra energy coming through this. Balance. Hello. Come on now. But yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting. And again, this twin flame energy, divine purpose, it's like, there is something out there that you need to do that's so much bigger than just what you think. Like you have this whole purpose to serve in life. You have this whole divine purpose. And part of getting there and getting to that divine purpose is accepting you for who you are. Understanding that it's okay for you to be who you are, and just loving yourself through all of it. Just being like, you know what? I'm good. I love myself. I'm going to take care of myself and do what I need to do. That is what you need to do. Look at yourself in the mirror every day and just be like, look, I love the mess out of you and you're awesome. That's what you need. Freedom. You have the freedom to be yourself. You can do it. Just do it. Like, literally just do it. Like, if you're waiting for a sign from the universe, just do it. Just do it. It's okay. You're able to heal all of these things. You're able to heal the ways that your mother has hurt you, the way that she's affected you, and stuff like that, and move past it and be okay. And come out on the other side happy, full of joy and divine love. You can do it. Look through the situation. Sorry. So with this, it's kind of like, there's more going on here than what you see. there's more going on behind the scenes, that like the universe spirit is like kind of interceding with you. They've got like this whole plan going on for themselves. They know what they're doing, haven't really told you about it, and they're just doing it. They're working everything out on their own and just kind of like letting it happen so that everything that needs to happen will happen. And so it's kind of like, just breathe, allow what's happening to happen, allow your emotions to be there. If you feel something, just feel it, embrace it, because it's there for a reason. If you're angry, be angry. If you're sad, be sad. If you're happy, be happy. If you feel led to do something, then entertain that. Understand where it's coming from and seek knowledge in those areas. Try to understand why it's happening, why it's coming forward to you, and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is all that I really have for you. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me some love. I hope that this resonated with you guys. If it didn't, go ahead, watch another video, pick another pile, whatever you need to do. But thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Love you. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. I have no idea what's about to happen here. I have not looked at these cards yet. I've shuffled them. I have your cards right here. I have no idea what they are, but I know something is about to go down. Like, the energy from this. I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen, but it's crazy. This is gonna be a fun ride. Let's enjoy together. Okay. The Hierophant. 5 of Wands. 6 of Swords. And King of Wands. Okay. Yeah, this is some heavy energy. The thing that I'm getting automatically is that there's been some sort of power struggle in, like, between you and your mom. I don't know why, or like how that's come into fruition, what that means, why that's there, but like for whatever reason, there's a power struggle between you and your mom where, like, you didn't quite know how to go about the dynamic with her. Like, it was like you were trying to one-up her and she was trying to one-up you. It, like, there wasn't like a nurturing aspect to this relationship, it kind of seems, with the 5 of Wands here, that it was just like conflict. That it was like just constantly, like I said, trying to one-up each other and kind of show that like one person was better than the other, like one person knew what to do over the other. Possibly you guys were like very competitive with each other, and it may have not even been that serious. It could have just been like you guys like played tennis and you just were competitive and like always felt like you had to win and beat her. For whatever reason as well, I'm kind of seeing that she was very sexual in an unhealthy way. Like, not just like she embraced her sexuality, but that she like was sexual and understood the power that she had as a sexual being, but like used it as to her advantage, if that makes sense. I don't really know where to go with that, but that's just kind of like what I'm hearing, that there was something where like she was not healthy in her sexuality. She didn't understand how to honor it and take care of it and like have her sexuality be from love. Like her sexuality was from lust and from like the flesh, opposed to being from spirit, if that makes sense. It's kind of interesting because the way that I have it set up here is I have the King of Wands and right next to that is the 6 of Swords. And, whoa, if I could pick it up. So with the 6 of Swords, he has his back turned to the king. And so to me, it's kind of like like, your mother wasn't very mature. She didn't understand how to be a mother. Like, she still kind of acted like a kid. I don't like she acted like a kid, but like she just didn't understand how to be the adult. Like, it was almost like she was your sister rather than your mom. That like she tried really hard to just be friends with you, and she didn't understand like having like discipline with you, and like having the separation between being friends or siblings and then being your mother and being there as a parental figure. Like, she didn't understand how to do that. She was kind of turned her head away from you and caused you to feel neglect. Yeah. Then with the Hierophant, it's kind of interesting because there was like an aspect of her where she felt like she wanted to be a leader, someone that you can trust and go to. Like, that was probably something that she felt like with her own mother, that she, like her mother, so your grandmother, didn't really know how to, or like they were very strict, had a lot of power, and like didn't really allow your mom to have a lot of fun. And so and like had no balance whatsoever, being like, so it basically, like, the dynamic was like there wasn't a balance between being your friend and being your parent. And so with your mom's mom, the way that their dynamic was that her mom was too much of a like a I know what's best for you, you do what I say kind of thing, instead of like letting her be her own person. And so then with your mom, she was like, I don't like that. That's not how I'm going to raise my kids. So she went to the opposite extreme of like solely trying to be your friend and not really taking the role of the parent. Yeah, I hope this is all making sense so far. If it doesn't resonate, pick another pile, because to me this is like these are like very, very specific messages that I'm getting. And so I'm kind of like, okay, take what resonates. Like, we'll see. Interesting. Okay. We have Queen Esther, the Morning Star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. And the Cosmic Egg, the Divine Feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. Yeah. Once again, I'm getting this aspect of sexuality where your mother had an unhealthy portrayal of sexuality, where she was, I don't want to say like overly sexual, because I don't really think that that's where the issue lies, but like that she didn't know how to be, or like the way that she embraced her sexuality didn't come from a place of honesty and divinity. Oh God, I really don't know how to explain this, because it's not like she like was not a respectable person, or that she like was and I mean she may have like been sexually abusive to you in some sort of way, but I'm not necessarily getting that message. Like, that's not like the main thing that I'm getting. That could be something that may resonate with a small amount of people, but for whatever reason there's something going on with her sexuality where she didn't know how to approach it with you. She didn't know what was right, and so she went to being like overly sexual, I guess you could say, very like open about her sexuality. That may be it, that she was very open about her sexuality with you, like to the point where it wasn't comfortable, where it was like oversharing about her sexuality and not having like healthy boundaries with you of like what's appropriate to tell your child. And she may have even started that from a very young age. So like you're just like a very tiny child, and she's just like very, very open about her sexuality, to the point that it was traumatizing, because it wasn't something that you were necessarily ready for, or the way that she talked about her sexuality wasn't in a way that you needed to hear about it. And so it caused you to not really understand your sexuality from a healthy view. Like, you kind of like you were taught that your sexuality was just about pleasure, not a way to express and receive love. Because sexuality is also, like, it's a part of divinity. It's a part of your soul. Like, it's not just, like, an outward act or, like, an outward thing that you do. It's so much deeper than that. And so for her, she didn't teach you the deeper aspects of it because she didn't understand it herself. So with the cosmic egg, I'm just kind of, like, getting the feeling that she didn't teach you how to, like, be truly embracing the feminine aspects of yourself, the divine feminine aspects of yourself. She taught you how to nurture the wounded feminine aspects of yourself, the not so healthy versions of your femininity. Because if you're a man or woman, whatever, non-binary, like whatever you identify as, masculine and feminine tendencies are important in to be balanced in every single person, not regardless of what gender you are. And so your mom didn't teach you how to honor the divine or the feminine aspects of yourself. I don't know why this is, like, so confusing for me. It's possible that this is just really confusing for you as well, that, like, the things that your mom taught you, like, it's possible that it also could have just been, like, a blur, like, that there may have been some things that, like, you're purposely not remembering or, like, not wanting to understand. It could have even been that, like, there are things that happened when you were really little, and so you didn't really have words for them, but it still happened. And so it's, like, kind of like the stuff that you have to deal with now, and go back with, that, like, you didn't have words for it, but now you need to have words for it. Let's see what the other cards are. So we have Goddess of Justice. What seems an injustice is actually a blessing. And Goddess of Beauty. You are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to change or fix. I just feel like there's so much to unpack here. Really quick, I'm going to go back into my tarot deck, and I'm just going to pull some cards to try to understand a little bit more of, like, maybe some of the things that you're, like, trying to forget about. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. I'm confused. Oh God, there is just so much to unpack here. So with the 8 of Wands is kind of like, with that is like, you're wanting to have the best thing possible happen for you. You're wanting to be able to move forward with your life. You want to not pay attention to this. You don't want to even acknowledge what happened. You're just like, nope, I'm moving on. I'm moving forward. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not going through it. I'm not going to open myself back up to this again. But there's something that happened. And it's important for you to deal with that. Whether that means going to therapy, or whatever you need to do. But there's something going on under the surface that you need to deal with. Because with the 9 of Wands as well, even the way that I have it set up here, like, he's looking away from the 8 of Wands. He's like, nope, not dealing with it, not looking at it, not even gonna, I'm just gonna pretend it's not there. And even like he's got his wand that he's holding, like he's on defense mode, and he has all of these wands behind him of all of the things that have happened that he's like, nope. And you're just guarding it as much as you can of these things that have happened in the past. And you're like, nope, not coming down, not letting anyone in, not talking about it. There was an injustice. Something horrible happened. Something traumatic happened here. And I don't want to even say that it's a blessing, because I feel like I get how that feels when people say that, like, oh, well, like, good things have come from it, like, it's okay, stuff like that. Like, it's true. Like, it's true that, like, spirit, God, source is able to take a horrible, awful, messy situation and make something really beautiful out of it. Like, that's true. That's possible. But, like, it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel your emotions and be, like, feel the injustice of it. Feel how it was wrong and how it hurt you. and how it affected you. And I kind of like with the Goddess of Beauty that it says there's nothing to change or fix. Like, you, like, whatever happened wasn't your fault. It wasn't something you asked for. Like, it just wasn't your fault. It's not something that you can point the blame at yourself. Like, this is something that happened that you need to deal with, but it wasn't a reflection of who you are as a person. It wasn't something where you need to feel like you're this horrible person because of what happened. Actually, let me go ahead and pull the rest of the oracle cards that I have, and then after that, if I still have some questions, we'll try to get some more cards. Ooh, what did I just do? So we have self-reflection, send love, expression, and you already know. Interesting. So I kind of want to start with the you already know card, because in my head, like, what I'm trying to figure out is like what happened. Also because I'm nosy. But like, I'm just like, okay, well, like, what happened here? Like, what do we need to unpack? Like, what do I need to get from this? But it's something that you already know. It's not something that I need to explain to you what happened. You already know what happened. You were there. You remember it. You're trying not to, but you remember it. You already know. But for whatever reason, you have just felt so beat down because of this. You felt so neglected and hurt and like traumatized. And like with the self-reflection card, it's like, this is something you need to pay attention to and understand, embrace, and reflect on. Like, this is something that you need to go through and deal with when you're ready. If you're not ready, then you're not ready. Just because you're watching this video doesn't mean that you're ready. So if you're not, then like, pay attention to that. Pay attention to what you need, and don't feel like you have to force yourself to deal with something that you're not ready to deal with. Go through it when you're ready. With expression, find people that you feel safe with so you can express yourself, because not everybody is a safe person. Not everybody is going to be able to take care of you in the way that you need to, but some people are. Some people are safe. Some people know how to be a good listener. Some people know how to really take care of other people, and they're empaths. They get it. They can relate to you and understand you even if they haven't been through it themselves. So find that person and allow them in. Let them know who you are. Find that person that you can trust and that will take care of you. Don't feel pressured to give someone part of yourself when they're not going to be a safe person. If they're not going to give you the love and respect that you deserve, then don't give them anything of yours. And then with send love, this is kind of cute because it's like the universe is sending you their love because I want to cry. They feel so much for you. They feel like, it's like almost like they, like whatever happened, like they feel wronged by it for you, like on your behalf. They're like, oh my God, like my poor precious child, like who I love so much, who I hold so dearly to me, has been wronged and hurt. And like they're absolutely just like destroyed over it. And like they feel so hurt on your behalf. It kind of reminds me of a scripture. For those of you who don't know, I have grown up Christian. This has always been my like all-time favorite scripture. This is what my tattoo means. Haha. Yeah, and obviously, like, I don't want to trigger anybody because I know that sometimes Christianity can be a triggering religion, and trigger some not so happy memories for people. So like, if that's you, it's okay. Skip ahead. Don't trigger yourself if you don't need to. Whether or not you believe in Christianity or the Christian God, this is still something that resonates with the universe, the energy of the universe, and the divine love that the universe does show. But again, don't feel pressured into listening if you're not ready for that. So it's in 2 Samuel 22, starting in verse 7. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I called out to my God. From his temple, he heard my voice. My cry came to his ears. The earth trembled and quaked. The foundations of the heavens shook. They trembled because he was angry. Smoke rose from his nostrils. Consuming fire came from his mouth. Burning coals blazed out of it. He parted the heavens and came down. Dark clouds were under his feet. He mounted the cherubim and flew. He soared on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his canopy around him, the dark rain clouds of the sky. Out of the brightness of his presence, bolts of lightning blazed forth. The Lord thundered from heaven. The voice of the Most High resounded. He shot his arrows and scattered the enemy. With great bolts of lightning, he routed them. The valleys of the sea were exposed, and the foundations of the earth laid bare, at the rebuke of the Lord, at the blast of breath from his nostrils. He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from my foes who were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my disaster, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into a spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. When you are hurt and wronged, when something evil happens to you, the creation source, they take it as a personal offense. They're angry on your behalf. And so this scripture is very evident of that they're angry on your behalf when you are hurt and when you're wronged, when you're confronted in the day of your disaster, when someone comes forth to you and treats you with disrespect and hurt and whatever. They're mad on your behalf. They come down, they make this whole fuss of it. Did you hear all of that imagery of all the stuff going on? That is the biggest storm, the biggest little fuss. And then they reach down and take hold of you. That is divine love. That is what the universe wants you to know, is how they feel about you. They take you out when you are so hurt you can't even move. When you're in your pain, when you're feeling all of this, they take you and hold you and hug you. That's what the universe does for you. Whether you feel it or not, it's still happening. You still have this love. And if you don't feel love from your family, your friends, the people you encounter, your coworkers, people in your life, whatever, I love you, okay? I'm here for you and I love you, okay? The universe is too. You're loved. That's why you're here, is to receive this message of love. Because you are love. You are the personification of divine love. Love exists within you just like it does everybody else. Okay? So that's all I have for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All of my love to you. Bye.